You wake up, the clock says 3:47. Your heart is beating faster, there's a weight on your chest, and your mind is wide awake, without your permission. The world around you is silent, but something inside is vibrating in alert, as if there were danger when nothing is actually happening. You try to fall back asleep, but your body won't listen. It insists on keeping you awake, watching the emptiness. This kind of awakening isn't random. It's not just regular insomnia, not bad luck, and definitely not a weakness of your mind. It's the moment when three forces inside you, hormones, nerves, and your energy field, all converge at a critical point, revealing everything that piled up throughout the day, held breaths, swallowed conflicts, inherited fears you never asked to carry. Your body is trying to warn you about something specific, and over the course of this video, you'll understand exactly what it's trying to say. Later on, you'll find out where this awakening is stored in your own body, the exact spot that's holding the tension, and how to finally release it. Linda was 54 years old when she realized she couldn't remember the last time she had slept through the night. She was a retired nurse living alone in a quiet house on the outskirts of Seattle. But the early hours had turned into a time of involuntary vigilance. Always between 3:30 and 4 in the morning, she would wake up with her body tense, heart racing, as if something were about to happen, but nothing ever did. The awakening came with a tightness in her solar plexus, right below the ribs, like something heavy pressing from the inside. Her jaw would lock up, teeth clenched without her even noticing, and there was this strange falling sensation inside her, like her stomach was slowly dropping while her mind sped up in circles. She'd lie there in the dark, trying to understand why her body kept doing this night after night, for no apparent reason, with no real threat. Linda tried melatonin. It worked for the first few weeks. Then her body stopped responding. She did sleep therapy, learned nighttime hygiene techniques, but the awakening kept happening right on time, like a biological clock she didn't know how to turn off. She tried progressive muscle relaxation exercises before bed. They helped for a few hours. But at 3:47, her body would go back into high alert, as if ignoring everything she had done consciously. Until one night, awake once again at the same time, Linda placed her hand over her solar plexus, where the pressure was strongest, and noticed something she had never realized before. Her body wasn't just reacting, it was trying to say something specific. A message was being sent every night, at that exact time, and she had never truly stopped to listen. But before you can understand what Linda discovered in that moment of touch, you need to know what's happening inside your own body when it wakes you up like this, without warning, always at the same time, in the middle of the night, between 3 and 4 in the morning. 3 systems in your body hit a critical point of vulnerability. The hormonal axis drops. Cortisol is at its lowest before it begins to rise again. Blood sugar levels fluctuate beyond your conscious control, and body temperature reaches its minimum. The nervous system shifts between deep rest and micro-awakenings, scanning for threats that may no longer exist in the outside world, but still echo inside, and the energy field opens. This is the time of night when the outside world goes quiet and everything you didn't process during the day finally comes to the surface, asking for resolution. In Hermetic and Taoist traditions, this time of night has always been recognized as the domain of the liver, not just as the organ that filters your blood, but as an emotional processor that releases swallowed anger, built-up frustration, and old wounds you've carried in silence for years. When the liver works alone, without interference from the conscious mind, it tries to release what has been trapped. Waking up at this hour is your body's way of saying, "I'm still holding on to something you haven't seen." haven't named, haven't let go of. Polyvagal theory, developed by Stephen Porges, shows that the nervous system doesn't shut down at night, it simply changes function. During the day, the prefrontal cortex maintains executive control over emotional responses, suppressing fight or flight reactions that wouldn't be socially appropriate. At night, when that control relaxes, the nervous system can finally scan for unresolved threats stored internally. Bessel van der Kolk demonstrated that the body keeps a living record of chronic tension, even when the conscious mind doesn't access those memories. Fascia holds on to contractions, the solar plexus records inner conflicts, and the jaw stores words that were never spoken. Waking up at 3:47 is not a failure. It's your body's attempt to complete emotional cycles that were left unfinished during the day. That breath you held in during a tense conversation, the conflict you swallowed to keep the peace, the fright that never fully discharged because you had to look strong. At night, the body tries to complete those arcs, but when the load is too heavy, it wakes you up as a way of asking for help. Now that you understand what's happening when your body wakes you up like this, you're ready to learn how to respond to that call in a way that helps your nervous system finally understand it no longer needs to sound this night alarm. Your body wakes because, at some point in your life, it learned that staying alert at night was necessary for survival. Maybe you grew up in an unpredictable environment, where waking up in the middle of the night was a way to anticipate danger. Maybe you went through periods of crisis, when entire nights were spent in a state of alert. Your nervous system recorded that pattern and has kept it running ever since, even decades later. Because its main goal is not to make you happy, it's to keep you alive. And now, you're going to teach it that it doesn't need to do that anymore. Before going to bed, take 3 minutes to prepare your body. Sit or lie down comfortably. Place your right hand over your solar plexus, just below the ribs, and your left hand over your chest. Feel the warmth of your palms on your skin. This isn't just a casual posture. You are creating a direct dialogue between awareness and tension, between presence and internal alarm. Your touch tells the body that someone is here, aware, attentive, and caring. Take a deep breath in, counting to 4. Hold it for 2 counts. Exhale slowly, counting to 6, letting the air out gently, as if blowing on a candle without putting out the flame. Feel your chest drop, your abdomen soften, your shoulders relax a little more with each cycle. The extended exhale isn't just a relaxation technique. It directly activates the vagus nerve, signaling to your nervous system that the environment is safe, that there's no immediate threat, that it can finally lower its guard. You might feel heat building up under your palms, as if something started to pulse there, or a heaviness settling, releasing the invisible armor you didn't even realize you were wearing, or a gentle throbbing where there used to be tension, as if your body is finally allowing itself to feel. These are not imagined sensations. They're real signs that your nervous system is shifting from defense mode to a state of rest. Pay close attention to them. This is the language your body speaks when it feels like it's finally being heard. As you breathe, say to yourself, either quietly or out loud, "My body is safe. I can rest. There's nothing I need to watch over tonight." This isn't just some empty, positive affirmation. It's direct information for your nervous system. You, as a conscious presence, are now taking over the watch. The body can finally let go of what it was never meant to carry. Repeat this 3 times, once for each breath cycle, letting the weight of the words drop with each exhale. If you feel more tension in your jaw, clenched teeth, tongue pressed against the roof of your mouth, add a gentle touch to the base of your ear, where the jaw connects to the skull while you breathe. Press lightly with your index and middle fingers, making small circles. If the tightness is stronger in your chest, extend the exhale to a count of 8, emptying your lungs completely before breathing in again. Your body will show you where it needs more attention. You just need to be willing to listen. Before we move forward, there's something you need to know about what happened when Linda repeated this ritual for 3 consecutive weeks. Right hand on the solar plexus, left hand on the chest, extended breathing in a statement. During the first few days, nothing seemed to change. The 347 awakening kept happening right on time, body on high alert, pressure in the same place. But in the second week, something different began to surface. The solar plexus, the area where the pressure was always strongest upon waking, started to soften before she even lay down. For the first time in years, it became possible to fall asleep without that anticipatory fear, without the certainty that her body would betray her again in the middle of the night. In the days that followed this shift, the awakening still happened at the same time, but with one crucial difference. The body no longer went into panic. The heart didn't race. The jaw didn't lock. There was simply a gentle awakening, almost curious, as if the body were checking, do I still need to do this? And then, with a long breath and the internal phrase, I see you, it would return to rest. After 2 weeks, the awakenings started to space out, 4 nights in a row without waking, then 5. After 1 month, 6 full hours of sleep for the first time in 8 years. What Linda felt as her solar plexus softening is what you're beginning to notice now as you listen to this. The body recognizing that someone is present, that it doesn't have to carry the weight or keep watch all on its own anymore. That's the real transformation, not suppression of the symptom, but resolution of the cause. If you wake up at 3:47, don't force yourself back to sleep. That only increases nervous system activation, creating more tension where you're trying to create rest. Instead, do this. Notice where the tension feels strongest right now. Chest, solar plexus, jaw, stomach, throat. Place your hand on that spot. Breathe deeply, focusing on extending the exhale. The long exhale is the key. It activates the parasympathetic system, responsible for rest and recovery, letting your body know there's no real danger, only the memory of danger. Repeat softly in your mind, I see you, I'm here. Don't force anything. Don't try to control. Just observe. The nervous system doesn't respond to commands. It responds to presence, to acknowledgement, to witnessing. You are telling your body, I know you're trying to protect me. I see that. And I will take care of it now. After 3 to 5 breath cycles, you'll likely feel a small internal shift. Your chest softens, your stomach settles, your shoulders release. That's the sign your nervous system received. The message, I've been seen. I can relax now. These 2 parts of the practice connect like gears in the same mechanism. The nighttime preparation reduces the frequency of awakenings, teaching the body that the environment is safe even before you fall asleep. The response when waking, when it does happen, teaches the body that it is heard, that you are present, that it doesn't need to escalate the alarm to get your attention. Together, these layers gently reprogram the vigilance pattern that was installed years or even decades ago. With repetition, night after night, week after week, the need to wake gradually fades, not because you've suppressed the symptom, but because you've addressed the cause. The body learns that you're listening, that you respond, that you are present. And when a system feels seen, it no longer needs to send out extreme signals to survive. The early morning hours stop being a battlefield and become once again a sacred space for deep regeneration. You notice now that your breath is moving deeper, reaching your abdomen without effort. Your chest, once held tight like a shield, has softened. Your solar plexus, once carrying invisible weight, has released something you didn't even know you were holding. This is the sign that something has shifted in your core, not just in the mind, but in the somatic record, where the body stores patterns of defense and rest. The transformation happened exactly where it needed to, in the deepest layers of your nervous system. Anytime you need to access this state again during the day, in moments of tension, or before going to sleep, do the following. Place your hand on your solar plexus for 30 seconds. Extend the exhale for 3 breathing cycles, counting to 6 as you release the air. Silently repeat, "I'm here." This gesture, this signal, anchors the new pattern in your body, creating a neurological shortcut you can activate anytime, anywhere, without anyone around even noticing. It's your portable tool for internal reorganization. When you feel the awakening returning on the nights ahead, and it may return, because old patterns take time to fully reprogram, do exactly this. Locate where the tension feels strongest. Place your palm over that spot. Breathe, extending the exhale. Silently say, "I see you." Your body will remember. It will recognize this language as a sign that someone is present, aware, and taking care. And gradually, the need to trigger the night alarm will begin to fade. What you just sealed in your body is not just technique. It is the language your nervous system understands. A somatic language that crosses the barrier between conscious awareness and involuntary reflex, allowing you to finally have a voice in a space that once belonged only to automatic reaction. You now carry an understanding that changes the way you relate to your own body. When it wakes you up at 3:47, you no longer go to war. You listen, and when a system feels seen, it no longer needs to activate extreme alarms to get your attention. What used to be a battlefield becomes a space for dialogue. What used to feel like punishment is revealed as an invitation. The early hours are no longer your enemy. They return to being sacred ground, where deep regeneration happens without forced vigilance. What you've experienced here is only the beginning. Nighttime awakening is just one of the many ways the body speaks, revealing what's been held inside. There are other layers, other times of night, other tensions, other somatic knots asking to be released. There are breathing patterns that hold ancestral fear, muscular contractions that carry unspoken words, pains that are encrypted messages from your nervous system trying to guide you back to center. This video opened a door. On the other side, there is a vast landscape waiting to be explored. The Persian poet Rumi once wrote, "The wound is the place where the light enters." Awakening is not failure, it's an opening. It's your body creating a crack in the shield of ordinary awareness, so something deeper can come through, be seen, and be integrated. Every symptom is a portal, every tension a threshold. Your body is not punishing you, it's calling you back home. The body is the temple where the divine reveals itself through symptoms. Every awakening is an invitation to return, to center, to stillness, to the sacred within you. God speaks through the fascia that contracts, the solar plexus that cries out, the breath that tightens. Listening to the body is a form of prayer, not with words, but with presence. If this video touched something in you, leave a like. It helps more people find this understanding, especially when they're awake in the middle of the night, alone, not knowing what to do. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next videos, where we'll explore other somatic languages the body uses to guide you. Share this with someone you know needs to hear it. Maybe someone who also wakes up between 3 and 4 in the morning, and still doesn't understand why. If you'd like to support the creation of more content like this, consider becoming a channel member. Your contribution helps reach more people and go even deeper in these explorations. In the comments, write, "I no longer fight the awakening. I recognize the message that seals." In the collective field, the intention of presence you just activated. And now, there's another important video appearing on the screen. Click and continue your journey into somatic understanding. So I ask you, how many other messages from your body are you interpreting as failures when they're actually calls for something that still needs to be heard?